Hello everyone, this is a video from Vermonter Management and part of the credentialing video series. In this video, I will show you how to get your individual NPI or Type 1 NPI. Your NPI is your National Provider Identifier and it can be used in all 50 states. You only need one. This ID will be required from when you are credentialing with insurance companies, and it is a core ID for clinical operation in private practices. Some companies charge you to get an NPI. You should never pay for this. While we can help you with your NPI, the process is straightforward and you should be able to do it independently. The first thing you're going to do a Google search for NPPES and you're going to click here. This is going to prompt you to the website, terms and conditions. All you have to do is hit accept. If you don't have an account, go to the right-hand side and just click on create or manage an account. This is going to take you out of the website and is going to direct you to the CMS INA website. Click OK. This is going to once again take you to some terms and conditions. All you have to do is hit accept right here. Once you're here, if you don't have an account with the Identity and Access Management System for the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS INA, you're going to go here and click create an account. Now, most likely, you have been employed. If you have been employed, you already have an account with this because your employer created your account. And potentially, you already have a Type 1 NPI. So, if you have been employed and you already have an account, all you have to do is reach out to your employer for their credentials, reset your password, and log in. Now, if you don't have any type of communication with your past employer and you cannot get a hold of them, all you have to do is click help right here on the top right corner. Right here. And this is going to take you to the help center where you're going to click on contact EUS page. And then this is going to prompt all of the contact information for the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, where you could reach out to them for any technical issues. This is the phone number. This is the email. If you're an email guy like myself, email them. But if you want to be very, very effective, just give them a call. Of course, there's some waiting time, but they will be able to resolve the issue right away. All you have to do is tell them that you are the provider and that an account has been created for yourself by your employer and that you need your account to be reset. Once you have access, it is best practice that you update the email address to an email address you will consistently use to avoid having multiple emails for logins. The same for your phone number. Your operations will get messy if you do not do this. You will also need to update any other information, including extra contact information that is personal or business information, just so you have a complete hold and grip of the account whenever you need to reset your password yourself, so you don't have to recall again and go through the same process. Now, if you're creating an account, you're going to go to create an account right here on the right hand side. This is then going to take you to the user registration. As mentioned, use an email address that you will use perpetually to avoid operational flaws. Complete the email address, confirm the email address, and then put the right caption here. Then hit submit. This will take you to set up the account. Please, again, choose all the information that are relevant to you as a person and your business. Same as your email address, choose the information that you will consistently use across all the credentialing journey. The setup is extremely intuitive. All you have to do is follow the 4 steps above: user information, user security, MFA setup, final review, which is essentially just reviewing everything else that you did. You will then get an email with your username and password. If you're putting your information and you get any of these error messages, they mean the following. 1, there is a problem with your social security and you need to investigate this further, or you're not considered a provider. You just need to do some digging or just contact them directly for them to help you with this. Again, find the email address or call them for more efficiency. Now, if you get the second email message, an account with this social security was found in the INA, this means that your employer created your account, and we go back to the previous steps. Reach out to your employer for the credential information, username and password, or reach out to the EUS, contact them for help, email them, or call them. Okay. Once you have your CMS account for INA, you can go back to the NPPES login and log in with that username and password to access the site. Why? Your CMS account from INA is the same username and the same password that you will be using for your PICOS account and for your NPPES, where you apply for your NPI, apply the NPI for the NPI for another individual, or for your type 2 NPI. Okay. Once you log in, this is the page that you will get. This is the main page. Here, since we're talking about NPI type 1, you have the option to do your own individual NPI, which again, if you have been employed, you most likely have one. You probably do not need to do this. But if you haven't been employed, then of course you need to get your individual NPI. Remember, you only get one NPI. You cannot apply for more than one. Or if you're an employer and you need to create the NPI for a new provider, you need to click on this option. The third option is the NPI type 2. I am going to make an individual video on how to apply to an NPI type 2. As you can see, most of the video is just getting access to this NPPES website. Once you have access to this, everything else is just going to flow a lot easier. But I will create an individual video for this and link it to this one. That way you know how to apply for an NPI type 1 for yourself, NPI type 1 for a future employee, which is going to be your provider, who's going to work under you, or your organization NPI. If you click on applying for an NPI for another individual, option 2, you're going to get these two options. The easiest route is to choose I am an employee of the provider. If you are an employee or employer, if you're an employer, you will have to add yourself as a surrogate working on behalf of the provider. This, you need to do it on the provider CMS account and link yourself as a surrogate. I'm going to make another video navigating the CMS INA website. It's going to be very short because you don't have a lot of options there. It is a very intuitive site. You could click it around, you could do it on your own, but I'm going to make a video to make it even easier for you guys to navigate it. But the easiest route is just to choose I am an employee of the provider, and then this will take you to the page where you want to get. And this is the page where you want to get. But in my case, what I did is that I created a new NPPES account and I chose that I want to create my own NPI, that I want to apply for my own NPI. But essentially, you're going to get the same 7 steps, which is this top steps right here, or on the left hand side, profile, address, health information exchange, other identifier, taxonomy, contact information, and error check. It is the same as you have right here. I'm going to go individually over every single one of them. Okay. But before you start, be sure you have all of the information listed here before you begin. So, provider name, social security, date of birth, country of birth, state of birth, gender, mailing address, one practice location, taxonomy, state information, license information, one contact person, and one contact phone number and email. So be sure you have everything. The only hard ID that you need here is your state license. That's why on my video credentialing number 1, I put get your state license as the first ID that you should be getting, because, well, you're going to need that ID for absolutely everything. If you don't have your license, you cannot apply for an NPI number. Now, if you scroll down this same page, you will get to the NPPS contact information, where you could contact them by phone number, email address, or by mail. If you run into any technical issues on this page, you should be using this the same way you should be using the other contact information for the CMS INA website. They're very responsive and they're very helpful. You're then going to click next. This will prompt you to put all of your personal information as a provider. Extremely important. Please fill everything out as it is in your medical license. If you have multiple last names or middle names or any other names in general on your license, list them all. Inconsistencies here will cause problems in the future with getting your remaining needed documentation. While the asterisks are the only required information you need to plug in, the more information and accuracy, the better. All of the IDs that I'm showing you how to get in these tutorials, they are going to be linked somehow. If there is a discrepancy between the names, they're not going to work well together, and you're going to have to go back and edit this and do some digging while you are running your practice. Those are operational flaws that are going to make you work slower and not optimal. And in some instances, you're probably not going to be able to find out right away what you did wrong or where the discrepancy is. And it could take days, weeks, or months for you to get from point A to B into something that you could have just done right on the first place. And any mistakes that you make here, they cost money in the future. So you need to be very, very, very attentive and very careful and ensure that you put all of the information as it is on your license, so there is an alignment and there is no discrepancy on any of this. So be sure you put your name correctly, be sure you put your credentials correctly, be sure you put your date of birth correctly and your social security number correctly. Then choose your gender. If you don't have a company yet, best practice, just choose sole proprietorship. In terms of ethnicity and race, this information is going to be on the web. The more information you put, it could either work for you or not work for you. My view is that if I put all of my information online as accurately as possible, I will have a chance that if a patient looked me up, the patient is going to feel comfortable knowing who I am, knowing what I am, as opposed to walking into the unknown. Put all of your language spoken. This is free marketing. If someone finds you online and they find that you're able to speak on their language, they're going to feel a lot more at ease. So please put your language. Do not leave this blank. Do not be lazy. Just put them. Next, after you hit next, you're going to put your business mailing address and your practice location. They could be the same. If they're the same, just add them twice. It's not an issue. If you have different addresses, if you have a corporate address or an address where you do all of your business operations and you have a practice location or multiple practice locations, then you're going to put your business address here, as it is stating very clearly here, and one practice location. There is just only one required. You don't need to put your 7 practice information. Just put one. Again, accuracy, consistency above all. Hit next. Then you have the endpoint exchanging healthcare information. This is optional. You do not need to know or do this at first. You could skip this, to be honest. Same as other identifiers. Right now, for a type 1 NPI, when you're starting, it's not required. You could completely skip this step. This is not going to affect your application at all. Then we're going to get to taxonomy. Taxonomy, you have to choose the right taxonomy. The right taxonomy is your right specialty. You're going to click here, and there will be a long list of specialties where you could choose from. Choose the one that exactly matches what you do for a living and what your license is for. For instance, for us is general pediatrics. You have to just put pediatrics. Don't put pediatric surgeon. Don't put anything that is not exactly what you are. Here you put your license number and your state issue. Then you hit save. After you're done with this, you're going to be taken to the contact information. I cannot stress enough, again, consistency. Put the phone number, the contact person email, the contact person information that will be used across all of this process. Choose a consistent email, choose a consistent phone number, so every single one of this information gets to you with no delay. This is just best practice. This is for you to not have to deal with something that should not be a problem in the future, because if you do not do it this way, it will be a problem in the future. I am telling you by experience. I have learned this because I have created this with certain level of discrepancies, and I've had to go back, find out what name did I put on my individual NPI, so I could match it with the CMS account, so I could match it then with my Medicaid ID because it was not going through, because the name was different, and then it just delays the process. And it is a lot of IDs that you need to take out, and you need to be optimal with this. Again, accuracy, alignment, always. Finally, there is an error check at the end to ensure that all the information is completed. After you check everything, you need to hit submit. Most NPIs are generated within an hour, some take a day. With this, we finish our first video of getting individual documents for your credentialing application. This is the first one because this is the easiest one. In the description, I have all the relevant links that you will need to get this done. Please leave a comment with your questions, feedback, concerns, or if I missed anything, please use the comment section. This is an open space for feedback, for communication, because this space is made to help each other out, to avoid having to pay third-party companies for simple paperwork that you could do it yourself, and to help us become more optimal. Now, what I'm going to do very quickly, I'm going to walk you through every single one of these steps extremely quickly on a live basis. So, NPPS, you're going to choose this one. Again, the pop-up, hit accept. If you have an ID, obviously log in. If you don't have an ID, create or manage account. The pop-up that you saw earlier, click OK. It's going to take you to the CMS INA website. Accept. If you have, again, your username and ID, use them to log in to change anything that you need to change. But if you're here, that means that you don't have it, because if you would have had it, then you would have just used it here anyways. Create account, you hit here. This is where you put your email address, confirm your email address, CAPTCHA, hit submit. Then after you hit submit, this is where you go, where you put your personal information and then your social security. With your social security, they're able to find out if an account has already been created. And then if an account has already been created, then of course, go to help. It's going to prompt another page, contact here, help contact information. That's it. Once you resolve your problem, then you're going to go here. I'm hiding it because my ID and password is here. Sign in. Once you sign in, then it prompts you to this page. Again, apply for an NPI, apply for another individual, organization NPI. Since I have this blank, I'm able to access it. Once you create your NPI, you're not going to be able to access this because it's going to tell you, well, you already have an NPI. If you already have an NPI, well, they're not going to let you create another NPI. Then you fill out the information as we discussed completely. Introduction, profile, address, health information, other identifier, taxonomy, contact information, and then error check. With this, the video is done. Again, feedback, open communication, and let's help each other out.